Next on WoodSongs, it's super songwriter and hitmaker Elle King. An award-winning Boston band, David Wax Museum.
The television broadcast of the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour is presented in part by the Martin Guitar Company, making handcrafted guitars since 1833. Online at martinguitar.com. The Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to visit Lexington, Kentucky online at visitlex.com. By Folkbook, a social media site for arts and music, online at folk-book.com. By Ear Trumpet Labs, manufacturing American-made microphones for folk, bluegrass, roots, and acoustic artists, online at eartrumpetlabs.com.
Here on the Louisiana Hayride. His name is Hank Williams.
From the Grand Ole Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Bruce Hornsby. Hi, this is Kevin Moe.
Hey folks, this is Bela Fleck.
Hi folks, this is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer, author, and tree hugger, Michael Jonathan.
I'm a hippie from New Hampshire. I live on a farm in Vermont. I grow peaches and ice cream, and I grow anything that I want. I sing every morning at sunrise. I plow my garden true. I play my fiddle at sunset and spend my nights with you. And I do believe in rainbows. Oh, yes, I do. Believe in hippie, hippie love. And I split my wood in summer. I spend my banjo in fall. I wait all year for autumn. It's my favorite season of all. And my wood stove glows in November. Winter comes around, and flannel shirts and work boots, they're the favorite clothes that I own. And I do believe in rainbows. Oh, yes, I do. Believe in hippie, hippie love. I'm a hippie from New Hampshire. I live on a farm in Vermont. I grow peaches and ice cream, and I grow anything that I want. And welcome to the beautiful stage of the historic Lyric Theater in our hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. We're coming to you from the crossroads of folk and bluegrass music, the Gateway City, to the beautiful Appalachian Mountains, where so much of this wonderful music does come from. We celebrate it all. It's folk and blues and bluegrass, country, Celtic, old-timey, sometimes opera, sometimes Mexican music, some Latino. It's all kinds of wonderful grassroots art, and we celebrate it all. Artists come from everywhere to be on our stage. You don't have to be famous to be on WoodSongs. You just have to be very, very good. We've got a wonderful group to introduce to you from the Massachusetts area, a 12-year-old WoodSongs Kid that's going to be absolutely delightful. First artist up, though, is taking the country by storm right now. She's got one of the biggest singles on popular radio and rock radio. She is a banjo player, a guitar player, a dynamic singer-songwriter. She's got an album called Love Stuff, and she's going to sing the big hot single off this album. It's called X's and O's. Please welcome Elle King to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
I had me a boy, turned him into a man, showed him all the things that he didn't understand. Whoa, then I let him go. Now there's one in California who's been cursing my name, 'cause I found me a better lover in the UK. Hey, till I'm in my getaway. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me, 'cause I'm the best baby that they never gotta keep. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me. They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave. Except in the oh, they on me like they want me to make them they want. Let go, X's and O's. Had the summer lover down in New Orleans. I kept him warm in the winter, left him frozen in the spring. My mind, how the seasons go by. I get high and I love to get low, so the hearts keep breaking and the edges roll. You know, that's how the story goes. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me, 'cause I'm the best baby that they never gotta keep. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me. They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave. Except in the they on me like they want me to make they want. Let go, my exes. And the they on me like they want me to make they want. Let go, exes and O's. Come on, Simon. One, two, three, they're gonna run back to me. Climbing over mountains and sailing overseas. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me. They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave. My exes and the they on me like they want me to make them they want. Let go, exes and the they on me like they want me to make them they want. Let go, exes and O's.
This is the CD. It's called Love Stuff. The amazing Elle King, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. This must be so much fun for you to be slugging it out the way you did, and all of a sudden this single comes out and it's just exploding all over the place. That's a heck of a rocket ship ride to be on.
Yes, I'm very thankful. I'm very glad that I don't have to get a day job. I'm not good at anything else besides drinking beer and playing music, so I'm just so grateful.
Well, let's talk about you for a little bit. I mean, you come from a family that was around the arts and stuff. Your mom was a model, and your stepfather was a musician who kind of introduced you to the guitar, I guess through a friend of his, right? Teaching you guitar lessons and stuff.
He did the right thing. He hired a hot guy to teach me guitar. I was like, I'll practice, I swear.
Yeah.
Look how great I turned out, so.
That's right. So you were around 15 years old when you started writing songs. I guess what I heard was you wrote one song and you got a gig.
Yes.
So how did that happen?
Well, it's funny. I laugh about this because I'm not that old, but now I feel old. It's like MySpace was a thing. And and I started writing music, and I put it up on MySpace, and this person, and I didn't have my age. I think it said that I was 63 or something, or 64 probably for the Beatles song. And someone was like, hey, do you want to play a show in Brooklyn? And I was like, in my mind, Elle, don't say how old you are. I was like, yes, I'll play a show. And I started playing shows in New York when I was 15, and, it just was all downhill from there, and no, I'm just kidding.
Well, obviously not downhill. You're signed to one of the biggest record companies in the world, RCA Records, right?
Thank you, yes.
And they're so happy with you, and they're so thrilled that they've picked up the option on your next album. So
yes.
you're going to start working on yet another album.
Yeah. Thanks.
So this, it takes a lifetime to write the first one, and then you have to come across with the second one. Is the writing an easy thing for you, or is this something that you work hard on? Because, I mean, you have very pointed, is that a fair way to say that? You have very pointed lyrics. They're very,
Pointed towards what? Let's get real.
Yes, exactly.
I've got 3 things I write about that I like. Some of them have a good sense of humor about them, but it's my feelings about religion, how bad I am to date, and how terrible I am of a person. So if you're talking about pointed towards those 3 things, then yes, my lyrics are very pointed.
Now I'm gonna say that we know you as a person, and you are absolutely delightful. You're absolutely wonderful.
Come on, I told you not to tell anybody about that.
Nah, we let it out. X's and O's. I mean, you must not be too bad to date. I mean,
They do all call me. I swear. I'll show you my phone. They do want to still hang out with me.
That's what the hit record is all about. But you just
not
can't.
A lie.
You can't shake all these past beaux.
I'm a pretty likable gal. What can I say?
But when you're out there, I mean, you live not too far from your mom in New York City.
Yes, thank God.
Which is still I guess your home. Brooklyn is still your home, right?
Yes, that's where I live.
And it's a very kind of a bohemian, artsy kind of place to live these days. And does that sort of feed your creative soul when you get home? I mean, the surroundings, does it help, or when you get home you just shut it off?
Well, I mean, luckily I will say I've been very, very busy, and so I don't get the opportunity to go home as much as I'd like because I'm touring constantly, which is great, but I always miss my mama. But the neighborhood that we live in is all strollers and married couples, and so that's not doing anything good for me. No.
Well, you're back home. I mean, you're backstage with a bunch of twins and kids and David
It's
Wax
amazing.
Museum.
I love babies if I can give them back. That's great. Love it.
You're going to make a great grandma someday.
I know. Thank you.
Right?
I think so too.
Now you have this album that's out, and you're in great company right now. You and so many very precious few artists that are actually selling albums. I mean, the music business has changed really fast, really quick, and you seem to be superseding all that, but it's just by sheer willpower.
Just good boobs. I'm joking. Come on.
Okay, Elle, thank you. for the visual. I don't know where to go after that.
Me neither.
Okay, so how about we focus on the music, shall we? Oddly enough, this is a song from your album, your beautiful album that's out right now on RCA Records. The song is called Ain't Going Down.
Ain't Gonna Drown.
Ain't Gonna Drown.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to change my handwriting, don't I?
Because if you also wrote that liner that you had me read, that was terrible handwriting. I thought I wrote like a kindergartner, but thank God I'm not alone.
Well, I didn't, as it so happens, I did not write that.
Wow, okay, somebody, all of us need a lesson in penmanship.
Ain't Gonna Drown is the song. Love Stuff is the album. Elle King is the amazing artist on our stage.
Train's coming, but I'm stuck on this road. Moon's rising and my blood is growing cold. Preacher man can't save a soul like mine. Miracles are just too damn hard to find. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. 'Cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. My demons and get back my upper hand. Law man can catch a soul like mine. Miracles are just too damn hard to find. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. 'Cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. 'Cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. Ain't gonna drown in the water. 'Cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. Go on, take me home, boy.
This is the CD. It's called Love Stuff. The incredible Elle King on our show. If you want to know more about Elle King, if you want to revisit this broadcast again, you can visit our website, woodsongs.com. Click on the archive page. This is show number 829. You get to know more about Elle King as well as the next artists who come from the Massachusetts area. They had their big break at the Newport Folk Festival. They've been on the broadcast before. We're very glad that they could be back. They've got a CD called Guest House. This is the title cut. Please welcome David Wax Museum on the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
I have a simple request. Hope it's not an imposition. Hope it's not an imposition. I have a simple request concerning your house for guests. And me, I'm in a time of transition. I have a simple request. Hope it's not an imposition. I've been living out of a suitcase, sleeping on dingy rooms, sleeping in dingy rooms. I've been living out of a suitcase. I've never lived in LA, but I've always wanted to. I've never lived in LA, but I've always wanted to. Can I stay in your guest house? Will you let me stay in your guest house? I won't get in the way, I'll be quiet as a mouse. No music after 8 if you let me stay in your guest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lemon tree out back. I'll make you lemonade. I'll make you lemonade. There's a lemon tree out back. Leave it on the back porch so that you never leave the shade. There's a lemon tree out back. I'll make you lemonade. Can I stay in your guest house? Will you let me stay in your guest house? I won't get in the way. I'll be quiet as a mouse. No music after 8 if you let me stay in your guest. Found you were underdressed, found you were underdressed. You chose a certain path, now you fly first class, and you have a house for guests. You chose a certain path, found you were underdressed. I did what made my heart sing, I threw away the oars. I threw away the oars, I did what made my heart sing. Now I need a place to crash. Please open up your door, I just need a place to crash. Please open up your door. Can I stay in your guest house? Will you let me stay in your guest house? I won't get in the way, I'll be quiet as a mouse. No music after 8 if you let me stay in your guest house. I Google mapped it there, I said it. To see the street I might live on, to see the street I might live on. I Google mapped it there, I said it. Corner stores are Ayurvedic. Just past the dog salon, a gated fence with cameras on to keep us from the wolves beyond. The soul is a guest in the body. You gotta treat it right. You gotta treat it right. The soul is a guest in the body. Don't kick it out too early. Can I just stay the night? 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 Can I stay in your guest house? Will you let me stay in your guest house? Can I stay in your guest house? Will you let me stay in your guest? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's a title cut from their Guest House CD, David Wax Museum. Let's say hi to Mr. David Wax himself. Welcome to the broadcast.
Oh.
You're here with your
Thank you. Great to be back.
lovely wife, Suze Slezak.
Hey, everybody.
And you're playing keyboards. And you have a great band. Let's introduce them really quick. You've got Chris Damon on bass in the background, over the Danilo Enriquez on drums and singing. And then we have a Louisville boy, Charles Rivera, Louisville, Kentucky. So David, you're doing, this is kind of a Paul Simon Graceland meets Daniel Lenoir with a mariachi band kind of a...
I like that description. That's
sound.
pretty good.
No, really, but that's sort of what the mix is. And you're doing all of this on purpose. You're traveling to Mexico to write songs. You're writing them in Massachusetts. It's a real mix of American and Latino.
That's true. I mean, I started spending time in Mexico in 2001 after my freshman year of college. And I was just living down there doing work in a community in La Huasteca in central Mexico. And I heard rural folk music, a style called Son Huasteco, and I just fell in love with the music, and then I just kept finding myself back down in Mexico every year, studied Latin American history and literature in college, and then got a fellowship to return to Mexico when I graduated, and went back there to keep playing.
And speaking of falling in love, when you and Suze met and started the band, you were just friends. Now you're married, and you have a beautiful 2-year-old little baby that you travel with. Well, let's knock on the door of your album. It's called Guest House, and let's get into a song. It's called Don't Lose Heart, David Wax Museum on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
No money in the bank, no honey in the tank, no heat in the house, small defeats but they mount. We're barely afloat, I should care but I don't. Different bed every night, underfed we survive. Windowless rooms, these are feverish tombs. We're barely afloat, I should care but I don't. You think may now be to quit, that's not something that I'm willing to admit.
It's the David Wax Museum from their CD, Guest House. We're going to go back with more music from the David Wax Museum. We've got the amazing, the incredible Elle King on our broadcast. We're going to go meet her band in the next half hour, and wait till you meet this week's 12-year-old WoodSongs Kid. We got so much music and conversation to come. Stay right where you are. We will be back right after this.
Hey, this is Brandy Carlisle, and you're listening to folk singer Michael Jonathan in the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And thank you, Brandy, and welcome everybody to the broadcast coming to you from our Home here in Lexington at the gorgeous and the beautiful Lyric Theater. We're broadcasting worldwide on over 500 radio stations around the world, and we want to welcome a new affiliate, WYRQ Radio in Little Falls, Minnesota, to our affiliate family. We're also broadcasting on American Forces Radio Network. That puts this show on the radio in 173 nations worldwide, plus every single U.S. military base in the world, every single U.S. naval ship in the world, and every single Coast Guard vessel sailing in North America. And as always, we do want to say hello to all the hardworking men and women out there. WoodSongs is also a public television series, coast to coast, over 96 million homes across the United States. Gets to watch WoodSongs as a TV series, and we're on the Blue Highways television network, coast to coast, every single week on Dish Channel 73, for those of you that like that. And we celebrate all kinds of music on our show, especially that of kids, of little kids and little kids' music and stuff. And we invited a WoodSongs Kid to come special on our broadcast. And right now we want to welcome young 12-year-old Makinnon Layne. How you doing, Makinnon?
Very good, thank you.
All right, we're going to listen to you. You're going to play your nice guitar, and we invited our own WoodSongs Kid, Isaac May, to play mandolin with you. You ready?
Yep.
It's a song called American Honey. He's 12 years old from Knoxville, Tennessee. Makinnon Layne, this week's WoodSongs Kid.
Thank you.
The church bells ring, a strong love grows. She grew up good, she grew up slow, like American honey. Steady as a preacher, free as a weed. Couldn't wait to get going, but wasn't quite ready to leave. So innocent, pure and sweet, like American honey. There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling out my name like the long lost friend. Well, I miss those days as the years go by. Oh, nothing sweeter than summertime and American honey. Get caught in the winds of this crazy time, trying to be everything can make you lose your mind. I just wanna go back in time to American honey. There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling out my name like the long lost friend. Well, I miss those days as the years go by. Oh, nothing sweeter than summertime and American honey, and American honey, yeah.
He's 12 years old from Knoxville, Tennessee. Makinnon Layne, this week's WoodSongs Kid. If you think you've got a youngster that we need to be aware of, perhaps invite on our stage to perform with seasoned professional touring musicians like the ones on our show today, send me an email with a YouTube clip, michael@woodsongs.com. We look at everything, we listen to everything that we can, and especially when it comes to these wonderful kids. We're broadcasting worldwide from Australia to Ireland, New Zealand to New York, Yuma, Arizona to the Yukon, in northern Canada, from her EP, her self-titled EP. This is a great big treat. It's called Good to Be a Man. Please welcome her back, Elle King, on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
It's good to be a man these days. Don't have no conscience
else about my evil ways. Don't ever feel bad for the awful things I say. It's good to be a man these days. To be a man, be serene. Drinking beer till I get mean. Chewing tobacco, kissing girls that life's a dream. To be a man, be serene. And I bet it gets tiring, always having to be right. Well, I love to be a cheating man, to feel those lonely nights. To be a man, be just fine. My only worry will be my receding hairline. I only give love this on my own time. To be a man, be just fine. Yeah. To be a man, be damn good. I do dumb things 'cause I should. Well, getting stuck in a ditch like my woman knew I would. To be a man, be damn good. It's good to be a man these days. It's good to be a man these days. Yeah, it's good to be a man these days. It's good to be a man. These
So when did you start learning the banjo?
I was 19 years old, and I just moved to Philadelphia, and I thought I wanted to be a painter. I know. And like most things in my life that come from either beer or cute boys, I saw this like really hot guy playing a banjo, and I was like, "Pfft, I could play that thing. I've been playing guitar for like 6 years, man. Give me that." I was like, "Oh, it's a completely different instrument. That's nice." And he let me borrow it for a year, and I traveled around, and I taught myself how to play it, and I got my heart broken in Denmark, and I wrote that song that I just played, and I got signed, and now I'm just living the life. Thank you.
So I gather you're enjoying the banjo then.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. Now, you're going to play another song with the banjo, and this tune, which for the sake of the audience, this is not available on any of your albums. Mm-mm. This is a treat for the WoodSongs audience. This is an unreleased song, yes?
Yes, and I do like to talk about it. I like to play these two songs back to back because that last song was written after a man hurt my feelings, and this next song was written after a couple of girls hurt my feelings, and now sees what that gets them because I play this song all over the world, and yeah.
So they're two revengeful tunes bookending each other in this.
That's the only reason I play music, is to just get back at people who have hurt my feelings. And I have multiple ways of doing this, so I'm doing great for myself. Yeah.
It's the power of the microphone, Elle.
Yes.
It's an unreleased tune. It's called Good for Nothing Woman. Elle King on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Maybe marry rich like your daddy wanted. You'll never be as good as me. You should. Now listen to your mama. She's just as dumb as your sister. You'll never be as good as me. Well, I know that you can't help it 'cause you're pretty, but you're dumb as dumb can be. When your looks have gone, baby, you'll just be ugly and mean. And you'll come crawling back to me just like a hungry, money-hungry woman. You ain't worth a dollar or a dime. You'll never, ever be good as me or mine. You'll never be as good as me. Well, I know that you can't help it 'cause you're pretty, but you're dumb as dumb can be. When your looks are gone, baby, you'll just be ugly and mean. And you'll come crawling back to me just like a good for nothing woman. Good for nothing woman. Come on, Simon, tell me women. And you'll come crawling back to me just like a good for nothing woman. Good for nothing
It's an unreleased gift to the WoodSongs audience from Elle King, Good for Nothing Woman, and we want to thank her band, Dylan Tracy on keys, Paul DiVincenzo, I hope I said that right, and then Simon Kafka on electric guitar, David Sherman on drums. It's a great band. Great band. Our next artists come from the western side of Massachusetts. They've got a CD called Guest House. This is a tune called Young Man. David Wax Museum on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Vicious man said to the young man in his wake, the higher up the ladder, the more you feel the wind shake. I am that young man. I am that young man. Yeah, vicious man said to the young man, following his path, do you ever wonder why you're striving? Is that a question you're afraid to ask. I am that young man. I am that young man. Vicious man said to the young man, though he knew it was useless to preach, dying for what's next. But aren't you where you always wanted to be? I am that young man. I am that young man. I am that young man. I am that young man.
David Wax Museum, beautiful guitar work by Charles Rivera on the guitar from Louisville with the band. And Suze, you're picking up a very unusual traditional instrument that most folks don't get to see very often. Tell everybody what that is.
This is a piece of an animal. It's the jawbone, the lower half of the jawbone from a donkey. And when David and I started this band 7 or 8 years ago, he said, "Suze, I'm glad you play the fiddle, but how about finding yourself a donkey jawbone?" And I said, "Okay," and here we are. So it's a percussion instrument from Mexico, though it's played all over Latin America, and it makes it.
You're going to rub a piece of bone over the teeth.
Well, it's
right?
just a stick. It's just a wooden stick, and it makes it sound because the teeth are loose in their sockets and they rattle. So I'm going to give you a demonstration.
And David, you've got what looks like either a large ukulele or a very tiny guitar.
It's a Mexican guitar, also from the same region, southern Veracruz. Mm-hmm. It's called a jarana jarocha.
Now, is it strung kind of like a mandolin?
I think it's closer to ukulele, actually.
Closer to the ukulele, okay. Well, let's go ahead and check this out, because it's from one of your CDs called Carpenter Bird, and you are going to play a song called Yes, Maria, Yes. It's David Wax Museum on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Your broken tail-light eyes, your broken tail-light eyes, your broken tail-light eyes. I get too near, I get too near. Time is counterclockwise, time is counterclockwise, time is counterclockwise. In your rearview mirror, in your rearview mirror. Yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Your careless heart invites me just to see me go. Yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Your careless heart invites me just to see me go. Oh, allo, allo, alle. Oh, allo, allo, allo. You invite me into your kitchen. Invite me into your kitchen. Invite me into your kitchen. Bowie, la cote, and armadillo. I talk, you don't listen. I talk, you don't listen. I You don't listen, you've had your fill, you've had your fill. Yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Your careless eye invites me just to seem to go. Yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Your careless eye invites me just to seem to go. Loudest froth, two loves, loudest froth, two loves, loudest froth. You skim the top, just in afternoons afterthought, in afternoons afterthought, in afternoons afterthought. All you can feel are its aftershock. Yes, Marie, yes, no, Marie, no. Careless heart invites me just to seem to go. Oh, yes, Marie, yes, no, Marie, no. Careless heart invites me just to seem to go. Just like a blanket, your mouth is a water fountain. Your mouth is a water fountain. Your mouth is a water fountain. Tell me who a wedding cake is. Oh, yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Careless heart invites me just to see me go. Oh, yes, Marie, yes. No, Marie, no. Your careless heart invites me just to see me go. Your careless heart invites me in just to see me go.
Wasn't it great having David Wax Museum from Massachusetts on our broadcast? This week's WoodSongs Kid, Makinnon Layne from Knoxville, Tennessee. And the incredible Elle King and her band. We were talking earlier in the show to Elle and to David, David Wax Museum as well. Music as a community is like a family, very much like a family, and families are very important to how kids view their own heart, their own life, their own music, their own sense of art and passion. Isn't it wonderful that David and his wife bring their own little child on the road with them? And it takes a little community of family to keep that going. Isn't it wonderful that Elle King had a mom who understood the arts and a stepfather that was willing to take the time and introduce her to music and different albums and to find someone to teach her the guitar? It takes a great parent to make a great child, but John Lennon said something that I think is very, very appropriate. He said, every child is an artist until they are told they are not. Everybody writes, everybody sings, everybody can draw, you can do it all unless you were told once upon a time in your life that you can't. Well, take a lesson from David Wax Museum, take a lesson from Elle King, take a lesson from our WoodSongs kids. Music is there, it is yours, you own it. Get on your living room couch, turn on that bright spotlight in your own home, and play with your family. It's a wonderful thing to do. My name is Michael Jonathan. I am a folk singer. I am a song farmer. And we'll see you next week on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. Good night.
You've been listening to WoodSongs broadcast number 829. Michael's opening song was the unreleased Hippie Love, featuring Melissa Deaton-Jonathan on vocals.
Well, there's our show. I hope you had a good time. We sure had a good time making it. If you'd like to send me an email, I'd love to hear from you. My email address is michael@woodsongs.com. If you visit our website, there's a huge archive page of hundreds of past shows. While you're there, you can find out how you can become a song farmer. And speaking of the archives, here's a scene from one of those past shows now. We'll see you again next week on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
closed captioning provided by the Deering Banjo Company. The television broadcast of the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour is presented in part by the Martin Guitar Company, making handcrafted guitars since 1833. Online at martinguitar.com. The Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to visit Lexington, Kentucky online at visitlex.com. By Folkbook, a social media site for arts and music, online at folk-book.com. By Ear Trumpet Labs, manufacturing American-made microphones for folk, bluegrass, roots, and acoustic artists, online at eartrumpetlabs.com.